All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Top Corner of Football podcast for all your news, rumors, match breakdowns, table conjecture, and all of that jazz. Although I think that Jordan's a bit more of a hip-hop guy, which is a bummer. I wish that you would get more into jazz. We can talk about that later. Jordan, how you doing today?
I'm great. Amazing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely ecstatic on the point of ecstasy, and 1 being the worst day of your life, where you at in the scale right now?
Probably like a solid 4.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah,
that's reasonable.
I'm
a 4 is still a good day. Yeah, it's still a good day.
Yeah, as long as you don't piss off people.
Yeah. Someone piss you off today?
No.
It's just good advice. Don't piss anybody off. All right, let's kick into some news and rumors. It looks like one of the biggest pieces of news that we're going into today actually was corrected last minute, and I don't think that you got this. You put it on the show format, and I kind of updated it. The original news was that Zinedine Zidane was very close to becoming the Bayern Munich manager. Yeah. However, he made a statement today. He said he will not coach Bayern, and he specifically said, "I will watch the semifinal, and I hope Real Madrid win."
Okay.
So it looks like that's not going to happen, but that would have been a really interesting thing to see.
He's definitely French.
Yeah. So I thought that was a very funny. It's like, well, Jesus.
Yeah. That was black.
Turning it down to one thing, but just going nope, straight up, hope they win.
Yeah. I'm never going to do it.
That move would have made a lot of sense. I would have liked to have seen that. I've been very curious what that was going to turn into. But that's kind of it on that. That put a stamp on that. However, there is some news on other managers kind of moving around a little bit.
I heard in the rumors that and it was pretty much from a lot of sources, not from the club itself, but from a lot of sources that reports on games and on matches and clubs and whatnot. And some of them were talking about Erik ten Hag as a possible successor to Bayern. I don't know if you read it anywhere.
Yeah, that's insane. That's failing upwards. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, that's crazy but this one person was explaining one thing though. It was like, they taking in account Ajax and the first season or the beginning season of United when he just took over.
Sure, I get it.
And they saying that because he really never had a good squad.
Yeah.
Since he was there, it's kind of still giving him his stocks, but you kind of low right on that one, failing upwards. It's like.
Well, because it's one thing.
Got his angels with him.
I do agree. Yeah, he's got something going on. I do agree that he's had injuries, and he has kind of inherited a very bad squad. However, he was responsible for the $100 million Anthony signing. He was responsible for a lot of things. Now, you've also seen clubs with surprisingly less talent than United have, but tactically they're a bit more cohesive. Yeah. You and I have both talked about it. You can have a horrible squad, whatever, but we've asked each other several times. We've asked a Man United fan, what are the tactics? Because it doesn't look like they have any ideas. You can have a bunch of C- players work together in a cohesive way, but he's got lackluster players.
I mean, we've seen it all over,
and they're not playing very well either. And it's partly down to him. When things go wrong, you can see that he doesn't know exactly how to fix it live on the pitch. So I don't know. Injuries are one thing.
That was pretty interesting to me too. I was like, all right, but
him. I don't get that.
And the thing about it too, I don't know, brother, because if you go to Bayern, assuming it's Bayern, you take it over for Erik ten Hag. The one thing that you will not do is try to mess around with people like Müller. I'm not saying that you have to play them because they're old. But I'm just saying you can't mess around like you did with like the likes of Cristiano and doing all this, because that's a patriarchy. That's Bayern. Man.
Well, and you also, I mean, you're walking into a club that is, along with Madrid, like they are
so
used
much
to
history.
systems.
And you're gonna have to win the first time you take the club.
Well, and every single person in that squad, young or old, because they're so used to the Bayern system, they're gonna immediately look at you and go, "You don't have any tactics in mind." Like, honestly, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And so, like,
you're
going to see that, and it will be a Mueller that will be able to immediately identify this guy does not know what he's doing. And to me, that causes a lot of issues.
Yeah. It could go very south for him, or it could go very north for him.
I don't, like,
he could do it.
I think it'll go south for him, or
so?
It'll happen like what happened at United, where he doesn't win anything. Everybody could play better, everybody could play worse, and somehow he's gonna get a deal to like a fucking Juventus or an AC Milan or something. That's what's gonna happen.
If he feels a Bayern, he ain't got no deal. It's gonna be the same thing as like more. After Chelsea, the second time where he really wasn't doing that great. The next thing was probably because after he had to rebuild his stocks, and probably that's what he did. Like Everton, coaching Tottenham and Roma. Because not saying that they're not big clubs, but they're not clubs that when he started and he got to essentially his peak, he was able to coach. Yeah. Like the Madrid deals, like the Inter Milan deal, because at that time Inter Milan was really good in the champion, like the Chelsea deal. So same thing as Don Carlo, when he kind of hit a bomb. He went to Everton for building back his stocks, and he's back. But I'm just saying, after Bayern, if he goes there and it's a fiasco, he ain't getting no.
Yeah, he'll be at like Sassuolo or something. So speaking of Bayern,
more like Freiburg, Frankfurt.
The board basically said they kind of confirmed everything. They said. Doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the season. Thomas Tuchel will not be there.
Yeah.
They could win the Champions League and it's over. But
doesn't matter.
It looks like he might be replacing Ten Hag at United. That's been a rumor that's been going around. And that he might whip their asses into shape. I don't know. And you know what he does though?
No, but at least I know for him. Interestingly,
but he'll look at the squad and go, "What the fuck is all this?" It's the opposite of like Bayern's gonna look at Ten Hag and go, "What is he doing?" And Tuchel's gonna come in there and be like, "What are they doing?" It's a nightmare for everybody. It's so bizarre, but it makes sense and really fast. Tuchel does have a really good track record of coming in.
At least for the first 2 years.
He's like a micro version of Mourinho. Like that first season, they'll do very well. Yeah. Who knows how far that they'll actually go. I mean, like, remember he whipped up Chelsea to win the Champions League in like half a season. They ended the season.
That Chelsea was crazy.
Frank Lampard started the season and was a shit show, and then some German guy walks in and they win the Champions League. It's like that's the most Chelsea thing I've ever seen in my life. But he can do that. He could whip them up and get them into a Champions League spot.
At least if as a United fan, at least if you see like some kind of wins in an extravaganza way, you can say, wow, I'm happy.
Well, and even on paper, if I'm a United fan and I see him linked to the club, that excites me because he does like that club needs a swift kick in the ass. Yeah, and he really specializes in that as well. I'm not as a biased person that doesn't want to see anybody else really compete in the top 4 or really top 2 at this point. That's not what I want to see, and that's how I know that it's a good thing for the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that would be a really interesting thing to see. There's a lot of Tuchel and Ten Hag and United's kind of all in the mix. United and Bayern are kind of they're having a lot of changes going on really quickly. One other thing that I thought was interesting was that Chelsea have indeed spoke to Napoli about Victor Osimhen. They want $80 to $90 million for Osimhen. They want Lukaku, and they want a young player as well. And this is a Chelsea side that an organization as a whole, that if Napoli, this is the best opportunity for Napoli to get the most out of him. If I'm Chelsea, I don't think Victor Osimhen solves the problem. If I'm a Chelsea supporter, I think that money can be spent in a better way. If I'm a Napoli supporter, this is the best offer that you're going to get. You're going to get almost $100 million cash, do whatever you want with it, and they need to rebuild. You get Lukaku, who guarantees you quite a few goals, but he's not your replacement. But maybe there's a young player that can come in and really make something happen. You look at how deep that Chelsea squad is, you think that Ian Maatsen kid might be interesting in the midfield, because Lobotka, Zielinski, and Anguissa have not been playing as well as they did 2 seasons ago when they won the league, right? Or Levi Colwill coming in to be a bit more of a defensive replacement for Kim that they never did replace. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason that their form has been so terrible. So that's a lot of options for Napoli to just kind of, if you let Osimhen go, that's the kind of offer that you want.
Yeah.
Would you agree that's kind of perfect for them?
Yeah.
All those things, all those extracurriculars.
Yeah, I think they can do it. Before we even move there, I just wanted to say Thiago Motta also rumored to be linked to Manchester United.
Oh,
I think that will also be a good one.
Yeah,
just having someone fresh in from the coaching world. He has just been coaching professional for or at least a big club, because he's coaching in Italy. Is it in Italy? Why is Thiago Motta coaching right now? But I forgot the club he's coaching. But
I'll look it up. One.
He's coaching there, and just get him in United freshly at a big club, looking at him having some funds at his disposition and see what he can do. Just bringing that new blood in that world.
He's currently at Bologna.
Yeah,
and they're in good form at the moment.
But it doesn't look like Bologna want to renew though, or
which is interesting.
Not that. It doesn't look like he wants to, or he's open to going to another club.
Because they're currently sitting at in top 4 with
he did really good this year. So and he's a midfielder, so there's a lot of good things. But now going back to Victor Osimhen. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like it's any team that get him at this moment, it's a great transfer for him. Regardless, I feel like he can adapt to any style in a sense, because he's not the kind of he's a goal poacher, and he can also retain the ball when he needs to. So I'm thinking it's great for everyone, because to be honest, I will really want Osimhen. Arsenal to get Osimhen, just a natural, just a killer instinct guy around the post. But
PSG made a lot of sense too.
PSG make a lot of sense too. Yeah,
Osimhen's been linked to those two the most, and in theory, Chelsea makes sense. But like you said, I mean, he can fit into any system, but they have so many players that aren't cohesive that there almost is no systems. Like, you can poach all day, but I don't see Conor Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez, or Moises Caicedo being able to feed you the ball. Really, I don't see that happening.
And I feel like for Chelsea, to be honest, they have players. They probably need to offload certain players.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they don't need to add anybody new.
Bring in either like young kids that are great to be promoted, and just fix that system, because they have players. It's just a matter of coaching.
But they need to get rid of Nico Jackson, though.
They gotta get rid of him. He gotta go out, man. This dude, he can score. He cannot do anything, bro.
You and I would go back and forth about him mid-season.
Saying that guy, I heard an interesting stat. I'm on the top 5 leagues in Europe right now, and I'm on the top 5 and the top 26 players in the top 5 leagues. He is the 25th player to have missed all chances, and his goal conversion he's the least let me think about it. He's the striker that has scored the least amount of goals but had a lot of chances, and his
I've seen most of them.
33%.
Yeah,
some crazy stuff like that. And that's the ridiculous. Only person that's behind him, which is the last person, is Diaz from Liverpool. And that makes sense to me.
Well, and it's even more glaring for Nico Jackson, because he's the player that sits in front of goal.
Yeah, and I see Diaz. I saw a game. I forgot who they played. This guy had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And instead of doing anything or trying anything, this guy he passed it backward. It's like, he go.
I've seen him one-on-one with the keeper with like 7 yards between him, and he just boots it right in the keeper's chest. You're like, what the fuck does?
You try that thing with one of these great coaches. You're gonna be sitting down.
And then in comparison to Diaz, like I said, I mean, like, Diaz is a winger, so like he's got more to worry about. He's really got to focus on when to cut inside to take a shot for himself, when to pass it inside. He's got to come in and make a lot more space for himself. Nico Jackson's sitting in the space. He's in the final area.
I think either if I was Nico Jackson and playing for a coach, one thing for the coach will be, he will not be my striker, my number 9. He will not be, but he can be the assist guy, or just an assistant striker. Yeah.
Who's he assisting to?
No, assisting in the sense that he's the second striker. He's not my main striker on the field.
I thought you meant someone like in the attacking build-up. I was like, he can't do that either.
I want somewhere of a 2 strikers at the front, and if it's one, he's probably behind.
Yeah.
And he's just and if I was him, I would transform my game into creating chances because I get the role. Because he does know how to position himself, create spaces. Because he always has the ball. Sometimes when Chelsea is running this counter attacking or just building up the play, but he just can't convert. So that's his problem.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even have him starting in the lineup. If he was in the squad, he's playing Carabao Cup games against Coventry. I mean, and that's not a bad. Someone has to. Every squad has relief players that come in for those matches, for those first 3 or 4 rounds of the FA Cup, for those couple of rounds of the Carabao Cup. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you think there's something wrong with that,
no.
I mean, someone has to do it. And yeah, you're not in the starting 11 of one of the top clubs in the world. Boo-hoo, sorry for you. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, they need to offload a lot of people. They need to figure out what their starting 11 actually even truly is. They probably regret letting Ian Maatsen go on loan. They could have used him, but also Ian Maatsen wasn't playing that well for them anyway, so he needed to go somewhere else. So it works out for everybody. Looks like Gabriel Jesus and Thomas Partey are lined up for potential Saudi deals. It looks like Arsenal's kind of lightly putting them forward. Thomas Partey's not a surprise based on his age and his injury record, despite him playing very well when he is healthy, but you can't rely on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Gabriel Jesus is a little bit surprising. He hasn't scored since January, but he's instrumental in a lot of build-up play. He was the one that fed the ball back in for Trossard.
Yeah.
For that second goal against Bournemouth this past week. And granted, he's a forward. He's not a winger. He is he is a center forward that doesn't score a lot of goals. Yeah. So I do understand potentially wanting to move on from him.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much money can you really get for him if you're going to send him away? Send him to the Saudis where you can get more money than he's potentially worth, and he's not in the European leagues, potentially making your life difficult if you meet up with him in competition.
I wonder if it's also a move to generate more money for a striker per se, because right now they have a good backline. They pretty much have good wing, left back and right backs. They can alternate and all of this, except I don't want to see Zinchenko playing left back anymore.
Yeah, well, you want to see Jurrien Timber finally back and healthy, because Tomiyasu he's the clear number 2 in that left back. They've got one right back. It's just Ben White, but on the left you have Timber, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and Kivior, which maybe one too many there, but even Tomiyasu hasn't been playing as well as he was and what's expected of him. So yeah,
but at least they have
options.
They have options, and they have a good thing going on. The real thing for them that I would want to see is them having a natural goal poacher, someone that if push comes to shove, he's gonna put that ball behind the net. Someone that if they have one opportunity, he's gonna convert. And it has to be a natural, a pure killer with goal scoring instinct.
When you know who they've who's recently come up in the news. Arteta is showing a lot of interest in Alexander Isak from Newcastle. And that's actually a good selection. And of the available strikers, he's probably the least expensive of the bunch as well.
And he has potential.
He's very good.
See, he has potential, and he has future. That's a good investment because the team is young. And if Arteta is still planning to run the team in the next 2-4 years, he has a lot of options on the field,
and you're freeing up space on the roster because you're replacing Jesus, who is an unconventional center forward that doesn't score a lot of goals, with a very conventional center forward who scores a lot of goals. And it's not affecting anybody's starting lineups on the wing, and everybody on the wing is good at feeding him back in.
He has good decision making. I've seen his plays.
He's great.
He has good decision making, and he scores. So I'm just saying that in an event when he gets the ball and he feels like it's not that he doesn't have to, kick or do anything, he will pass it. He will make an intelligent play or whatnot. So that's a great. In my head, I was thinking him or Ivan Toney, but looking at Ivan Toney right now, I mean, they still could go for him. I'm just, probably money issue because he might be playing in that club, but his stocks are really up. I feel like it's a little expensive.
Well, and Arsenal even said that he's probably wanting a little bit more money than he currently deserves. He hasn't been playing well. at Brentford since he came back from the gambling issues. Yeah. And that's also a red flag as well. I mean, like, he won't do it again, but you're like, if I spend that much money on you, motherfucker, you better stay.
He might be running the gambling issues in the team now.
But no,
not be doing
Arsenal kind of came out and said, like, we're not willing to pay the wages that he was wanting. He was wanting like $250,000 a week. And they just weren't they weren't going to give that to him, and I like that.
That makes
I'm
sense.
fine with that. Especially if they can close a deal on someone like Isak as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Some more Arsenal news really fast. Arsenal are negotiating a new deal with Gabriel, center back, to prevent interest from other clubs. They're trying to lock him back down. Saliba is locked down on contract. He's good to go. There's no questions there. How do you feel about maintaining the Gabriel Saliba lineup, as opposed to, if you'd asked like 4 years ago, you would have wanted to improve, you would have wanted to upgrade Gabriel, but it doesn't feel like that's a better lineup thing anymore.
No, Saliba, I think that duo is actually one of the best duos in England. Yeah. So, like I said, no,
they're much better together than they are on their own. And so, like, on their own, Saliba is the better center back, but together, Gabriel almost performs better than both of them.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
I think they've built also chemistry, understanding, communication, friendship, and that's really what you want to see, especially when you're playing in a team. And they understand each other, they cover each other when they're on the field. So that partnership at the back, it's very, very good. So don't change, don't fix if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So just
I agree. All right, you want to kick into since they happened last week, let's go to the Champions League matchups real quick.
You want to talk about that before? Right. Let's get into some Champions League news. Oh man, this Champions League is I'm telling you, this Champions League is amazing.
Dortmund, man. So sorry. Let's go back to the Tuesday game, Bayern and Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? That was a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, Bayern Madrid, like I said, and if you don't know, Bayern and Madrid have the most matchups in Champions League. That's becoming more of like in Spain you have Barcelona, Madrid, that's a Clásico. In Champions League you will have Bayern and Madrid. That was see, one thing about Madrid that they do well, and especially this score in Madrid, you know, sometimes you have great clubs that when faced with adversity, they tend to panic a little bit more, and you will see a lot of holes opening for the opponent to actually take advantage of this. The one thing Madrid does so well is they can absorb pressure. Man, that's amazing to be absorbing pressure for how long? Yeah. And also what they can do is they will punish you with one or two opportunities. That's why I said Arsenal need a guy. For Madrid, they really don't need a striker poacher per se, because all of them have sense of goals. You know? But they will punish you if they have an opportunity, and that's what you want. And if they can absorb pressure, they also are keeping composure. They are calm and they're just waiting for their moment. Yeah, it's more like a lion. And Madrid played and United and Munich played also very well. I'm talking very, very well. So
and I mean it is interesting though when you see because Bellingham didn't have a great game. No, it's amazing the level of quality that both that drops when he just moves up one line in the formation. If he had been where Tchouameni was, I think that he could have been a lot.
Just behind.
It's just you move him like 10 yards up, and something just happens, and it all kind of goes away.
The thing is, it's also because if you move him now, he is not playing in between that space, in between the midfield and the attacking, right? He has now sometimes to think like a striker and play like a striker in a sense, so it kind of messes him up. Because Bellingham is not a striker. Although he can score, he is not a striker per position, per formation, per training. He is really good on creating these spaces and coming in and filling from the back when it needs to be.
That's what very early we realized. It's like, oh, he's scoring a lot of these goals because he's not giving up on a play. He is pressing in when a lot of players would think that they need to step back for safety because the buildup is dead. But what ends up happening is once the offense takes their shot, the ball usually comes back right to his feet where where most people would have given up and dropped back for safety, and it just falls right at his feet. He's able to he's able to close the deal.
And one thing I would say, he's really good at finding this. He's really good at positioning and finding these spaces.
Yeah,
that's why it's good for him to observe the game from where it's going to come and feeling. So, Junior had for me, I think Junior didn't have a great game. The reason why I say that is because I know I've seen his potential. I've seen what he can do when it's his day. Although he scored, but he did not have the Vinicius Junior of the day that I want to see.
Yeah, that first goal though, I mean, because who was it?
Kroos?
No, it was the quick transition that Vinicius put in because Kim was so out of position.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a bad pass from Goretzka, I think, in the midfield, or was it Laimer? I don't remember who it was. No, Laimer had a good game. But, Kim was out of position because he wasn't expecting that poor of a pass in the midfield to be turned over so quickly.
Yeah.
Vinicius has amazing pace. We all know this. Kim Min-jae is not known for pace. I wouldn't say that he's a slow defender, but he's not a swift one either. You feel bad for being punished like that, but at the end of the day...
Did you see that assist from Kroos, though?
Yeah,
this guy, he got eyes everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a shitty turnover in the midfield, and Kim's out of position. But Kim was not expecting that turnover that quickly because he was expecting a better pass. But yeah, Kroos threads the ball right through and just punishes him.
The German sniper, and he had, I think he was the man of the game.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Yeah. There's a reason that they're signing him on for another another season.
So he can because now when I watch the game, I can see Tchouaméni doing kind of what he's doing. I can kind of see it coming. I feel like it's for him to kind of mold these guys into
for sure. Yeah.
This is, and also for new players incoming, you gotta get the Real de Madrid DNA. So the old guys have to put it in you before they leave. So that's probably why he's and that's probably why Carlo Ancelotti don't want Modric out yet, because per rumor he's been offered a coaching position.
Yeah.
Bayern had a good game. Sané, man, that Sané and Musiala.
Yeah.
Musiala is weird. And no, he's weird in the sense that I feel like he's on the spectrum in some ways.
Okay, I mean,
but he's weird in people that usually play nonchalantly like him. Yeah. Very dangerous. You can see with Di Maria. You can see with I think Marco Verratti. You can see with Ozil. Because when he plays, you really don't know where he will go, because he's so nonchalant, and that's why he creates so much opportunity. So
yeah, he crosses a lot of people up, because even though he's in a position on the pitch that kind of mandates you to stay in certain areas.
Yeah,
I mean, they're running a 4-2-3-1, but like he's supposed to be in that lofty right wing, but he'll cut inside and he'll do all these things that conventionally a wide player is not incentivized to do.
Yeah.
But he feels like he's kind of that free roaming attacking midfielder, despite him actually kind of needing some outside coverage as well. But he makes it work, and he's very free, but and it's
I would
hard
tell
to cover.
I would tell you guys, you Bayern fans out there and Madrid
you
fans,
idiots, sorry.
If you guys should have won this game, because I'm telling you, you guys ain't winning no game at Santiago Bernabeu. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm telling you. As soon as we close that stadium, you're not gonna understand what the hell is happening. It's like hell. There's so much noise in there.
Yeah, letting that and it was Kim Min-jae that gave away the penalty for Vinicius to tie it back up as well. Not a very good game. He hasn't been in good form all season.
He didn't. He shouldn't have done that. Caused that.
But yeah, like Sané putting one in at 53, and then Harry Kane with a penalty at 57. You start thinking like, oh wow, okay, we got some momentum going, and yeah, Kim Min-jae just kind of lets that one go. And I mean, what can you do? What can you do except who could Bayern bring in to kind of replace him in rotation? What do you think?
Kim Min-jae?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's just having a bad time. But
yeah.
The season's almost over. He probably.
Well, he's also pairing up with Eric Dyer, who is not a natural defender.
Yeah.
I've never been too high on the Eric Dyer fandom. In the midfield, let alone out of position in a different part of the the pitch. But Upamecano, maybe he gets a little bit more love than Dyer should. I don't know. Their back is not impressive to me. The three that are in here right now, looking at having any sort of rotation of Upamecano, Dyer, and Kim Min-jae.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good for anybody, does it?
Dortmund, and I told you guys, I've been telling you guys.
Tell them again.
Dortmund is different in Champions League. No matter what they will have saw anybody on your way.
He told you again.
Yeah, because guess what? They were the underdog. And they've been the underdog, but they've been...
That's their key.
Yeah.
That's their key, man.
I think the underdog story, that's probably... that's probably where the power is coming from.
Yeah. Ian Maatsen looks really good.
Sancho, man, oh man. He had, I forgot how many dribbles, but something about 13 to 20. I forgot exactly the number. And he was the most successful dribbler in Champions League as per this year. Something like that.
Füllkrug had that early goal and then kept just missing. Like, you think that he has the hot hand because he puts it in early. And you're like, oh, man, this guy's really on fire right now. And then he had like 4 more chances that looked just as good as that first one and wasn't able to close it down. That kind of broke my heart a little bit. That could have been 3.
Yeah.
He could have had a hat trick on the night.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a bummer.
Now, this this Sancho guy is the guy at Manchester United that everybody had problems with, but not really everybody. The coach himself. And every guys were like, oh, he doesn't play very well. He's, trying to dog him out, complain about him. And you see him playing at Bayern, at Dortmund, he's playing very well. Then I hear on people, it's like, well, it's because the Premier League was probably a little bit tough or whatnot. No, it's not because of that.
It's all incentive. It's all motivation.
Yeah, it's because where he was at, he wasn't feeling like he could play for the team, for the manager.
Yeah.
He did have problem with the manager. He was uncomfortable. So guess what? When players don't get along, what they tend to do is to fall out of form because they find something else to occupy in their mind.
And then also, even if he is in form, tactically speaking, I mean, like, you can see what Dortmund want to do.
Yeah.
They play more like a unified group of people.
Yeah.
You can be in form at United, and it's shown. Garnacho has been in form at United. That doesn't mean that he's just banging in goals for fun.
Yeah.
They didn't go on a 5-game win streak because he was in form because they're playing well and feeding in the ball. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So even if he was inspired, which he was not, why would he have been? That team just doesn't play cohesively as a unit because of the tactics being implemented by the coach.
Yeah, that's it. And you saw him play on the right wing, man. This guy was killing it. He had a super good game, and I enjoy watching him play. So you guys out there that was complaining about it, y'all can suck it.
Suck it. Anyway.
All right. And if you didn't miss last week, you probably want to go watch the highlight because this week is gonna be on fire.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
You didn't watch it?
I know, right?
Who didn't watch it?
I know, right? It's gonna be this week.
Dorks.
They're gonna decide who is going to the final.
Yeah.
And yes, we're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk about it.
I don't care. Look, I don't care if you work overtime. I don't care if you've got an annoying girlfriend that demands more of your time than you want. I don't care if your boys want you on Call of Duty every single night like a fucking geek. You're gonna watch these matches.
Yeah.
You're going to watch these matches, little man.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I don't mean to talk down to you, son, but watch the fucking game.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid. It's all right, Dad. All right. Let's talk about Arsenal-Bournemouth. Not too much to talk about. 3-0.
3-0. It was good.
The scoreline really fast. Don't get me wrong. Arsenal handled everything.
What about that penalty, though? It wasn't a penalty.
I agree. Havertz left his foot out. Yeah, for sure.
This guy, this you know what? These players are getting so good at acting day by day, year by year. This guy, he did it so well. The ref was convinced, but
fooled him.
But also now we have technology, right? Sometimes I wonder what this technology is for, to be honest, because it's misuse. You get complaint about a lot of people. Guess what? All right, let me check.
Yeah.
When I check,
it's so simple to just look at the footage again.
Yeah, okay. That's like, hey, let me check. When I check, I come back. And the good thing is, this is not even like the NBA that if you check, you cannot ask the ref to check again.
Yeah.
It's a thing Let me check. You go check. Oh, it's not a penalty. Guess what, guys? I was wrong. It's normal. Human error.
And it seems to only really be the Premier League that has this big of a problem.
Yeah.
The wealthiest organization, you know, like they are the ones that don't know how to identify and look back effectively and be objective. Like there are talks of, you know, would it make sense for us to go completely electronic and get the human error out of the way? I like to think no, because that kind of ruins the quote magic of human capability and capacity. But these guys are fucking morons. Like you gotta change something. Something else has to happen, because this is an absolute mess.
I totally agree with you. I think the technology is there to help. So use it as they help.
And if you can't use it, it's gonna replace you, motherfucker. Like it's going to.
Yeah. So it's so simple. You know, we're not back in the 90s. We're not back in the 80s where you could do the hand of God and we will just agree. No, everybody can see, and you can really see it on the pitch. So
there's like the fans get to see playback as VAR is making the decision. So like everybody in the arena and at home are looking at these two chuckle fucks up in the booth, and they have a camera on them, and that's the biggest mistake you can have. Like that's the last thing that you want. Let me see what these motherfuckers actually look like. But you know what I mean?
Apart from that, I'm a cheer for Arsenal because they are not giving up, and I like that. I like the spirit. Expecting City.
It's gonna be heartbreaking. It's gonna be heartbreaking.
Oh man, I tell you,
2 points.
Liverpool Tottenham 4-2. Oh my goodness, Liverpool really.
Now I actually didn't get to watch any of the highlights on this one. I missed this one entirely. I saw the score line. That was about it though. So break this one down for me.
Liverpool had a good game. Salah really starting really helped, and he scored, and he hadn't scored a game like that. He hadn't scored starting for the past 7 matches, I believe, but they played very well. Tottenham, I mean, I don't know what's happening. I think they lost their
late collapse. Yeah, man.
Yeah, they are losing, and it looks like they will not be in Europe next year. No European competition. So that's very bad. But what can you say? That's Tottenham.
I mean, he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it.
So when you're a Tottenham fan, you really have to expect mediocrity at any point. It is just what they do.
Sorry, everybody.
You know, like
he said it, not me.
Like Mourinho said, the one that broke my heart is Tottenham when they fired me because there's no trophy. Yeah, that's Tottenham in a sense. The only team that can seem like they will win something, then all of a sudden, voila. No one.
That Champions League final when they lost to Liverpool, they'll never forget that
Liverpool
one.
Did his
and neither
thing.
will I.
Yeah. Liverpool did his thing. They all played very well. I was happy. At least they showed that they still want to compete, although it won't matter that no more because they have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
But they are killing it, and
they should not be out of the Europa League, man. We should be getting Leverkusen and Liverpool in that final. That's what the fans deserve to see. And honestly, that's what Liverpool deserved to have. They deserved to have that final. How they completely blew everything against Atalanta just will not. It'll never cease to amaze me. I don't know what that was. 4-0 at Anfield? Yeah. Unbelievable. That is unforgivable.
I mean, it also shows that it kind of exposes their problem of lack of a real striker in a sense too, because they also have that problem of converting. Not that they cannot convert, but if you miss that much, they had a game. I forgot what game they played. They had close to they had an enormous amount of shot and less conversion. So that's a problem.
There's that, and they have no one to tag team with Virgil van Dijk. And that spreads him too thin, and that exposes his flaws of lack of athleticism since coming back from the injury.
And he's not the Van Dijk anymore. But
he's not. He could be if you had someone else next to him. But he has to do too much because Kwanzaa and Konate's been out of form. Kwanzaa never had form. But Konate's been very out of form, and Joe Gomez is not who he used to be as well, who was never a great defender, but was a good person to kind of pick up slack for Virgil and kind of do what Gabriel does for Saliba, except Gabriel's been able to step up in his own right, whereas I don't think that Gomez was able to do that respectively.
That's definitely the truth right there. And just to come back on that Alana, I mean, it just shows that they were the one that they were supposed to go, and they drew last game 1-1 against Marseille.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I want Marseille to go through, but
that'd be interesting.
Yeah. But like you said, Van Dijk needs someone, and he said he will be part of the transition, provided the next manager needs him or wants him. But that would be good to see, because he's at that place in his career where he needs someone that is really good, so he can always cover out of position and play really intelligent by not using athleticism.
There are two players that come to mind, and both of which are within possibility. I think that Liverpool could afford them as well.
Yeah.
What if they picked up Bastoni from Inter Milan? Because he's got good pace. He's athletic. Yeah. He could allow Virgil to kind of sit back a little bit more and play safe and use his big body to get in the way of passing lanes. You could do that, or could they afford to pick away Mickey Van de Ven from Tottenham? Because they could use that extra pace in the back and allow for Virgil to kind of relax a little bit more.
That's really what they need. Yeah. Those are really good options.
I don't know how much Mickey Van de Ven would cost. I imagine Tottenham would try to jack up the price. They just signed him, so Liverpool aren't really known for spending a ton of money on big signings. But I can imagine Bastoni getting away from Inter Milan for 40 or 50 that they could swing.
I'm really also interested to see how the new coach will what will be the remedy to that situation. So I'll be really, really interested to see what's going on. On the other hand, Roma Juventus, I kind of watched a little bit of the game.
I didn't get to check this one out.
Yeah, I just it was a great game, to be honest. Juventus Roma, they played very well. I just put it on there because I kind of like because it's a big game in Serie A. So it was. I like what I saw. The one thing that I would say though, watching Roma play is interesting, because one day they play, not that they always playing great, but sometimes they play so good, and sometimes they just there. Like in Europa, I thought they would have did something against Leverkusen, but and as we all know, Leverkusen is on.
My God,
they are really on that underdog story. I wonder if they filmed this whole season, because that would be a great document.
And if not, they needed to have started around like week 15. Like we I don't give a shit. Get a crew in there.
Yeah,
because it's like not only did they win this league, they might actually not lose a game. Like it seems very possible.
And I gotta look at the record, and I will tell you guys next week. Especially because I think next week most of the teams, the leagues might be over, or a week after next. But I would I would definitely come with that piece of statistics for you guys.
They've got 3 games left in the Bundesliga, and they're all 3 very winnable. They have Eintracht Frankfurt, they have Bochum, and they have Augsburg.
Yeah,
that's it. That is very possible, and then they can clean up against Roma, because they smacked them up 2-0. In Rome, and then they've got the Pokal Cup final.
Ooh-wee.
They could win a treble.
Yeah.
It's not the treble, but it's a fucking treble.
And they will have the most the most winning games in all competition out of every team. That will be the record. I gotta look at how many games, but I will tell you guys, and that's a freaking record.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. Coming back to Juventus, they all play well. The one thing I wanted to say is that I like the US players. They have a really, really good team in there, or really good groups of guys. So I really wonder how they will do in the CONCACAF. They surely should win this one, because Weah played very well. The only, they just keep hitting bars. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they have very good guys. Weah played very well. McKennie played very well. So I'm really looking forward. For the first time, I'm really looking forward to see what the US can do in the CONCACAF, because their players are really good.
How did Dusan Vlahovic do?
No, he did very good, but he didn't have much opportunities.
Gotcha. Because he's
good.
He is either on fire in a game, or you can give him the ball, you can give him space, you can give him 20 yards of free space, and he's just gonna send it wide.
Yeah.
He's very.
I love it.
This is our attack. I like this voice.
Oh, she's great. She's very vocal about her fandom. So he's very hit or miss, and he was an Arsenal target for a while last season. So I kind of always check on him because I think that he has the capacity to.
Plus, he
to
has
be great,
a wicked. Is it right leg? He has a wicked right leg. I think both of them actually.
Yeah.
I play him on FIFA.
I play him on FIFA.
He's good.
Yeah.
All right. Going back, who are we? We are talking about Girona, Barcelona.
Girona, Barcelona.
Nice they have great games, man.
Yeah.
Well, a great game, good names.
Great. So, Girona being at the top of the table early on in the season and then dropping points and Real coming in and then slowly slipping to third. And I think that they dabbled in fourth. You were like, oh, great, this is the end. They might even lose out on a Champions League spot, but seeing them kind of get that extra 3 against Barcelona was great. They look relatively solid. They could finish in second, which would be great for them. Champions League spot. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know what's our someone needs to reset. I will put him back at default. He hasn't been playing the same since that period.
No, and there have been transfer rumors for him, and we've had this conversation for like 70 or 80 million, and I just keep thinking like, who the fuck for? Sorry, like, I mean, look, is he the worst that I've ever seen? Absolutely not.
Inflation.
No shit, man. But no, it's just like I'm not saying he's a bad player, and I'm not even saying that he should go for less than 50.
Yeah.
But you're saying 70 or 80. It's just like I'm like, who are you actually watching? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, for real. I'm
it's
saying
very strange.
I don't know, man. But guess what? I think early on or last season when Barcelona beat them 4-2 and then they beat Barcelona back 4-2.
Yeah.
So
and Barcelona have been very shaky. I mean, we were talking about how lackluster that they were around Christmas. They've stepped up in the last couple of months, but they've lost 2 in their last 5 games. Now you're like, okay. I mean, you really want to stay in the top 4 in La Liga. You kind of either want to be first or second. It's not good that you are losing out to Girona. Mm-hmm. It's not a good thing. Anyway. I'm glad I'm not a Barcelona fan. Not a great time to be a Barca fan.
On the side note, it's a great time to be a Madrid fan. I'm just telling you guys.
It's almost always.
I told you guys, I'm not the super fan, and also I'm not here to support teams that make me feel a certain way. I just support win. So as soon as you don't win, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't stay for good and bad. It's not a marriage.
Yeah, don't turn your back on him, ladies and gentlemen. You might find the knife in there.
Stab you. I don't play those games. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Madrid won. Madrid won the league.
Yeah, it's over.
We won again. We've been winning. We win so much we don't even know what to do.
Yeah, you forget how many titles you have sometimes. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And you know what? I would say another thing. You guys don't even know what Madrid is.
I gotta turn you down a little bit. You're yelling everywhere.
I'm excited.
I know. I can tell. I love that you're excited.
The crazy part is, you guys don't have any idea what's coming out. What we are cooking for next year.
Yeah.
We are cooking something. We can
smells good too.
We can show you. We can open the pot yet.
It's some sort of stew.
You can smell. we won't open the pot. But I'll tell you, Enrique is coming. Mbappe is coming.
Yeah.
And I would say
Davies is likely coming as well.
Oh la la.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do? They're not gonna be able to handle us. Another thing is though.
Can't even handle myself.
Another thing though. I think Carlo Ancelotti is the perfect manager to handle those young guys.
Keep their asses in line.
Because the thing about those guys is that the values of each of them are high now. I'm telling you, that's pretty much $1 billion team. If you count, if you put their values right now, Bellingham might be valued at 100 million plus.
Oh yeah.
Rodrigo, same thing. Vinicius, same thing.
Yeah.
Camavinga, close to. Tchouaméni, close to. And if you put Davies next year, which I know they will do, his stocks will go up because he's still young.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You put that kid Enrique, because Madrid is really good and molding this kid from Brazil. Give him 1 or 2 years, he's beyond. I'm telling you, that's $1 billion squad.
And Militao's back full time, healthy. Yeah.
Oh man, you guys were talking about we sit in the defense. Next year we're gonna be attacking so much you won't know what to do. It's gonna be flying bullets everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a really bad time to be not a Madrid fan.
Do you realize if everything works well, you will have created the most dangerous team, a collective group of individuals that are equally talented and dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I know. Gunshot for that. Gunshot for that.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Ooh. But we won the league.
Ooh, we won the league. Yeah, I mean, it was expected. Once Girona kind of hit that skid, it was clear that Barcelona wasn't going to be able to really
Girona
take
thought
over that
they were
spot.
going to do the Leverkusen storyline.
You and I never really thought that they were.
Yeah, kind of.
They expected it to hit. They hit a little bit early. They ran a little flat a little earlier than I thought that they were going to. But you expect Madrid. You expect either Barcelona or Madrid to at some point. But it was clear that Barcelona. It wasn't their season this season.
Yeah.
But you still can't lose to Girona if you're Barcelona like that.
Oh,
that's it.
That's
but
true.
Congratulations to Madrid. You might win a double. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I know. It hurts.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't find the player of the week per se, but
because they all sucked. I'm kidding.
They didn't play. There was not a substantial.
No one had a lightning match.
Yeah. But the goal of the week for me, I thought it was pretty. I just thought of Elliot. Did you see that goal?
I did not get to see that one. But it's playing right here right now.
So. I think this is the goal for the week for me. If you saw it, just looking at it, shifted a little bit on the left and just directly put that soccer in, and guess what? The goalkeeper could not catch it, and even if he had power, Superman, he would not have caught it.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how it is. That thing was so good, so fast, angle. Even Elliot might surprise himself.
Yeah, he looked at me. Oh shit.
Yeah, let me cheer for him. Oh no, applause. Yeah, Elliot. This guy killed it. Yeah.
Good for him. Just needs a haircut and he's good to go.
Do you have any predictions on your power rankings? Any?
I have my power rankings.
It's been a minute for that.
I have my power rankings. For predictions, let's just go Champions League really fast. I do see PSG pulling out 2-1.
I do see that too.
And I see Madrid possibly with a 2-0 going up.
Yeah, I see Madrid.
Against Bayern.
You know what's crazy though? I kind of feel like PSG might win it. It's just the feeling in me. The feeling, it's just there. They might win it.
Well, that entire side of the bracket has been the underdog side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And PSG have kind of been able to get confidence. And I'm trying to be polite about it, but I do mean it without having to play the harder side of the bracket. I do not think that they would be in the semifinals if they were on the side with Man City, with Bayern, with Madrid. It just wouldn't have happened. But they've been able to kind of find good form, get used to playing well in a competition that they are used to coming up short in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see them getting...
Because one
I could
thing,
see something happening.
Dembele is... As soon as the PSG, the rumor with Mbappe going, Dembele probably felt like, I might be the guy. It's my chance because this guy is playing good.
And Mbappe has not been in great form. He's kind of taken a step back. Yeah. And you know what? This might be what happens. And if so, I'll hate this fucking sport. But Mbappe has been, lackluster in the Champions League all season. Watch them get to the final, and he finally just puts on something.
But I wouldn't be surprised because Mbappe is the man of the finals.
He just needs to be motivated. He's just like, I just didn't feel good, guys,
when
for like months.
Also, another side note for the Ballon d'Or. All right, I see Bellingham, Haaland. I see Vinicius. I see those three. That's what is really clear in my mind.
And Bellingham's obviously the winner of that.
And then I see Mbappe 4-5. But I think what I was looking at last week, I think he was top 3. But he might win it if this happens. And Bellingham might win it if this happens. I will tell you what happened. If they win the Champions League, he will win it. He has the Euro to play. And the Olympics. I don't see who's going to win France in the Olympics. Yeah. And if he performs, and he will perform in the Olympics. The only thing is Madrid doesn't release players to play. So France was appealing for that. So they can release Mbappe. And if he plays the Olympic and the Euro and he does very well, the reason why I say he does very well, he would do very well is because France, right now, this France will do well. I'm not sure about England because these guys, You know how you like to say, "Oh, Paris Saint-Germain act like the Champions League just."
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in Europe, England,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they act like the World Cup or Euros, and they've never been good at it.
Yeah.
And the last time they were good in the World Cup was the one
decades ago.
We don't count that.
Well, you should, but
I mean, no, we count
the separation
that
is
because it's history. But in this day and age, and it baffles me when the pundits always talk about England like, oh, they're gonna go in and take it, or England is great in a sense when on the field. Might be on paper, I don't know
exactly. Well,
but
they look at the individual players, and don't get me wrong. I mean, like you look at the team sheet, and you're like, wow, this is unbelievable. But it doesn't mean anything. Like look at Belgium 5 years ago. Look at Croatia 5 years ago. Like it matters who is on the field, but it also matters how well they play together. But also like what does your route to the final look like?
And also when we watch, especially us, because it's in either English and French, right? That I watch TV. When you watch the pundits are mostly English, and they would hail this team like, oh, it's some kind of Voldemort, Harry Potter that comes and take it all. Wow. But it's not. It's just not.
Look at you with the Harry Potter reference. I didn't expect to hear that today. That's interesting.
I'm on fire.
Yeah, it absolutely crushed it. You want to do some power rankings? Do you have power rankings, or do you just want to hear mine? Or are you just gonna make fun of mine?
Probably. But I think I might have some.
Yeah. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
No, you can go first.
All right. Number 1, Bayer Leverkusen. Number 2, Real Madrid. Number 3, Man City.
Yeah.
Number 4, Arsenal. Number 5, Inter Milan. Number 6, PSG. They won the title.
Oh, damn! Forgot about that.
There you go.
Applause. No, Arsenal first.
That was the good one.
Applause. Allez, les champions.
Okay, back to 4, Arsenal. 5, Inter Milan. 6, PSG. 7, Dortmund. 8, Liverpool. 9, Girona. 10, Barcelona.
I had 10 exactly. Barcelona 10 exactly. Point. Actually, that's pretty good. But what did you put Bayern?
They're not in there right now.
Ooh. Who is in there that Bayern is not in there?
Someone might say that Girona.
You had Girona in there. I think I don't have Girona, so Bayern is my guy in there. So
okay, that's fine.
That's the only
and I would say that Bayern is number 11 for sure. I mean, coming up short in your domestic league, not being in your cup final, and then more than likely going to be outclassed by Real Madrid in Spain. You know, walking away with nothing for the season. I don't know if you get top 10, especially if you're Bayern. You expect at least one trophy every single season.
Last week or week before last, Muller had this thing, because Muller is always on social media now, and he was having this. I don't know if it's on TikTok, Instagram, and he said everybody should wear a red shirt in the Champions League, because I don't like their home kit now, but their home kit is the all red.
Yeah, I don't like the white shirt with the red band.
That's probably why they're losing.
That could be it.
But you guys will be surrounded. I'm talking about you guys will be. There's gonna be a whole river of just white. You will be drowning them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. And if you bring your red, it's gonna be like blood, in a white sea. Ooh, I think they're not gonna make it. I can feel.
I agree. All right, what's your top? You do a top 5 or a top 10? You said you did a top 10.
Top 10. Just basically, mine will have been Leverkusen, City, Paris, City, Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Liverpool, Inter. You did have Stuttgart, didn't you?
No.
So I had, because Stuttgart performed a little bit better. So I had Stuttgart. Did I put my Munich? Yeah, I did.
You have it written down?
Stuttgart and Barcelona.
Let me see this thing.
I shuffle on this because
gotcha.
This year.
Go back to the beginning.
Leverkusen, because they have Munich. No, Leverkusen. And for the record, Leverkusen just bet, I think, Frankfurt 5-0 or 5-3, 5-2, some crazy like that. I didn't watch the game. But Leverkusen, City, Paris Saint-Germain. No, City, Madrid.
Oh my God.
Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Munich, Liverpool. Come on, Stuttgart, Barcelona. That's it.
Perfect. It's over.
That's what I do.
Wowee. Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't watched us, go watch us.
Yeah, watch us again. Watch us every day.
Yeah.
I watch us every day. I watch me all the time.
For real?
Yeah, no. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, please like, share, subscribe. Give us that Spotify star review.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of great content coming up this summer. We expect all the likes of you, and we expect all the watches of you, and we expect every single thing. We have all our links to all our social media, especially on TikTok where we are active. Go give us a like. And on the rest of the platforms, that will be Instagram, YouTube. If you don't want to see our faces, at least you can listen to us. So go on Spotify.
Full episodes early.
Yeah.
All episodes early on Spotify.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell your grubby little friends about us.
Yeah, definitely.
Your little ragamuffin friends, little scallywags. Go tell them. Tell them about us.
And
we're here to play.
Yeah. We will be closing this show for my bad. It's like I had something, but no, I'm just saying, go and do what you can do to have us on your low screens and
do more than you can.
Yeah, and we
work harder. Fuck.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. How privileged you are.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you. Guess what? She's gonna say that. You
thank you, and like more of you should be doing that as well. We need more of that. I live for it.
Bye,
I feed
guys.
off of it.
Take care, and we see you guys next week.
Be responsible.
Something like that.